Kazi-Njema, online, live from Hoima City.
Welcome to Kazi-Njema news package on environmental conservation. My name is Catherine Tohaise. The closure of the learning institutions due to the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic forced more than 10 million youth to return home. Nobody knows when the lockdown or COVID-19 will end. But how can this idle workforce be used to achieve Sustainable Development Goal number 13 that calls for urgent action to combat climate change? Our reporter John Kibego has spoken to different stakeholders to shape the way.
Today we start our inquest by an interview with Ms. Jennifer Baitwamasa. She is an activist working with the Navigators of Development Association in Avodia.
Our role as the youth, we are in here to educate our parents the importance of wetlands, the importance of forests, that we should help our parents desist from cutting down the wetlands in a bid to grow rice, to look for food, to look for school fees and other livelihood things that can help their family grow.
Do you think female young ladies appreciate the importance of environmental conservation today?
The truth is that most of the young generation hasn't yet embraced the conservation, and it is high time that now we have to embrace it, because it is going to affect us. We are the future generation. We are the generation of today and tomorrow, and now there is a need to appreciate it in a bid to curb climate change.
Why do you think it is very important for young ladies to get concerned about environmental conservation?
Meaning they will move long distances to look for firewood. They will move long distances for water, since the water will dry up because they have dug the wetlands. And during this, when moving to look for water, to look for firewood, to look for medicine, to look for fruits, you never know the places where they are going to. They will meet hazards. They will meet rapists.
What could you expect of our leaders in Uganda towards mobilizing people for environmental conservation during this lockdown?
First of all, they should have this on agenda as number one. Most of the youth are out of school, they are home. Even those who are working in bars, restaurants, shop attendants, most of them are at home. So it is easier for them to be mobilized, and they pass on a message of advocacy towards environmental conservation.
I also spoke to Hoima City Resident Commissioner, Mr. Samuel Kisembo.
You should do something to remember this COVID-19. You can plant a tree, because many of the businesses are down, most people at home, the children at home, the youth at home, the parents at home. It can be a very good venture we can take up as a family.
Why should the youth population be much concerned about environmental conservation than other age groups?
The youth still have the energy. Future lies in the young population, the largest part of the country's population. So it's a workforce that we can really rely on.
Why could you say that it is important to embrace environmental conservation during this time, not only COVID, but in these years and the coming ones, compared to a decade before or 5 years ago?
Climate change is a fact. If you look at the weather patterns these days, a lot is changing. We attribute this to the high levels of environmental degradation. And of course, Europe being the home of the oil and gas, there is a lot that we need to do in as far as environmental conservation is concerned.
Could you introduce yourself?
I'm Dickens Samanya, coordinator Bunyoro Albertine Petroleum Network on Environmental Conservation, BAPENECO. Our viewers would like to still understand who a youth in this case we are talking about, because ideally we look at someone who is between 18 and 30 years, but also when you look at the National Youth Policy of 2001, now lowers down the years to 12, because at 12 years someone is regarded to be energetic up to 30 years. Currently, COVID-19, it's more of a nutrient-related disease. Can you plant more plants, fruit trees, including also the vegetables, because they are sources of some vitamins and some iron and zinc?
Thank you, Mr. Dickens. How can the leadership try to advise the youth on how to go about this holiday in relation to environmental conservation?
Could they keep on the sensitization programs radio stations, even WhatsApp groups.
We are working with the National Forest Authority to support our community members who are willing and who are ready to plant trees.
Thank you so much, John Kibego. Our dear viewers, our next package will focus on the role of the youth on the ongoing efforts to save Bugoma forest from depletion.
Kazi-Njema, online, live from Hoima City.